What up, guys? Welcome to Paul Riley Uncensored. Once again, obviously, my name is Paul Riley, and welcome to Smoking Session, the podcast. Once again, and today is the same day we recorded the last podcast. If you guys want to go back and watch that, I interviewed my sister-in-law, which she's right over there, and then we have another interview today, and that is her fiance, technically my future brother-in-law. And he's a farm boy and a recent bus driver, and we are going to talk to him today about whatever, I guess. So, introducing now Dakota Monster! Yay! I need sound effects. Okay. So, what's up? How's life?
Pretty good.
So, first, I want to start off by saying, what is it like to be a farm boy? Because I'm from the city. I've, always been from the city. I've never baled hay. I've never cropped. I never have done anything. The most I've ever done like that is probably plant vegetables, which sounds like probably the most stupidest thing to you.
Actually, no, gardening is
Well, I mean, yeah, that is important, but it's not like anything you've probably ever done. You've drove tractors.
No,
and all.
we have a garden too.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. What I meant is you do a lot more than you've done a lot more than gardening. I've only done gardening, so you've done a lot more than me. Is what I'm trying.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is that like? What is it like to be a little farm boy? What's it like to be on a farm? I don't think I've even been on a farm.
Well, the sleeping schedule itself is a lot different from most, even working a 9 to 5, because we get up early in the morning, 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning, and we don't get to bed sometimes till 1 the following morning.
Okay. And you're recently now a bus driver or a bus aide.
Well,
But you're gonna eventually have your own bus route on, on the schools that you pick up and stuff. What's that like? What experience have you had from that yet?
Well, so far I've had some pretty decent passengers.
Tell me about the kid. Well, tell me and them about the kid that you are gonna have some serious problems with. That you told me about a while back ago.
Okay, so one of the kids, he's prone to keeping knives on him and slashing up the seats, which is
a big no-no.
It's definitely a big no-no. It's definitely very expensive to replace those
and
seats.
it's not your property either, so yeah.
So it's not really my problem, but we try. But we have to prevent it. We have to keep it from happening nonetheless.
Okay, and so how is it different? How do you feel different from going from driving tractors, obviously on the farm, that's what you do,
And trucking
to going and being a bus driver? How'd you go from the transition to that? What made you want to do busing? What made you want to be a bus driver?
Well, half of it is I definitely needed a job, and I knew I can drive bigger pieces of equipment compared to normal people.
Yeah.
But the transition itself, it's a lot different from driving tractors or even grain trucks or semis, because it's a long vehicle. It's a lot longer than anything I've driven on a single axle.
Okay, so so what kind of animals did you guys have on the farm?
We've had pigs, we've had cattle, we have horses, goats, a lot of dogs.
So did you ever go and ride the horses? Did you ever, or is it just
they could be ridden? Yes, they were full-grown full-size
so
horses.
what was the most enjoyable thing about living on a farm and taking care of animals, and what was your favorite thing out of the whole farming experience?
Probably this may sound crazy, is baling.
Baling
Baling hay.
What's that like? Because I've seen baled hay, but I don't know how it works. See, I'm telling you, I'm so stupid when it comes to farming.
So, are you asking how the hay
how does,
gets baled up?
Yes, how do you bale hay? What technology do you
Okay,
use?
so we use a tractor-powered baler.
Okay.
It's pulled behind the tractor, and it square bales it, and what it does is, as it comes up, it pushes it in, then another part pushes it up against, and as so much gets past, there's a little thing that spins around, and once it reaches a certain point,
Yeah.
then it ties the knot, and it keeps pushing more out, and after the and then after so much gets past, a bale soon enough comes up and gets dropped on the wagon, which gets pulled behind the baler.
Okay.
And from that point, me or my brother or my dad would be on the wagon stacking.
Okay, all right. So so other than like you being a busser and you being a farm boy, what other like job history have you had? Like what else have you done in? Because I've only not even known you for a year, so I don't even really know myself what else you've done besides farming and busing, and then.
Well, my first ever real job I had outside of the home was working for Kroger as a bagger. Yeah, of all things, I worked as a bagger.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
It did, because I could only make $8.50 an hour, never go up, never go down on pay.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is freaking. I've never heard anything like that before.
And as with that issue of pay, I finally decided to pursue factory life, starting out with a place that refurbishes hospital beds.
Okay, and
Yeah.
what was that like?
A lot of the people there were pretty awesome.
I didn't like how you paused like that, and you're like, I feel like you're lying.
Nah, man, nah.
You paused and you were just.
A lot of them smoke weed.
Then we should bring them on this show.
The only sad thing is none of them.
Tell them to bring their own though.
None of them can drive. That's the sad thing.
BOW, bring your own weed. Just kidding.
But a lot of them would smoke weed during the shift, on breaks.
What? That sounds like a dope job. I'd do it.
It paid $9 an hour.
That's crazy. $9. Well, that's what I made at McDonald's. I don't.
40 hours guaranteed a week though.
40? Yeah.
And
see, right now
the only thing I did, James, is I took the sander thing that it hooks up to an air hose, and the pad just spins around. Is all it did, and I just took it and sanded down the plastic pieces, all the crap that built up on the plastic pieces, and that was it.
That's crazy.
That's all I did for $9 an hour.
Well, it's crazy. So, what was your favorite? You said you worked one factory job, right?
That was one of the many factory jobs I've worked. Another job I worked at was a place called NSK.
NSK.
Where they manufacture bearings of all different kinds. Some that go in vehicles, some that go in washing machines or dryers, others that you would use for big pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting job to say the least. Not as fun as a place where I refurbished hospital beds, but it paid very decently.
Now, when you were working and you were refurbishing like beds, and you said they were from the hospitals, right? How did you feel about that? Because I would be afraid to like work in that field of like knowing, hey, somebody might have died in this fucking bed.
We take broke down beds that are no longer eligible to be used for service.
Yeah.
Because they are broken. There are parts that don't work on them anymore, It's not a case of, oh, someone died on it.
Yeah, but there's always that feeling that I
The-
would think, oh, this motherfucker died, and now I have to touch his nasty ass bed, and now maybe I'm gonna get fucking haunted by his ghost for touching his bed that he died in.
Well, there is that. Granted, there is that possibility that
That you get
People will
haunted
feel
by
that
somebody's
way.
ghost.
that people will feel that way, or that someone may have died in that bed. There is a possibility of that, but most of them, generally the cases, some fat ass was in the hospital and the bed broke under their immense weight.
Yeah.
So, but because it's not, but because all I did was touch the little plastic pieces that went on the railing,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had to worry about that.
See, I just I'm iffy about.
What they did first at this place is they would take the bed completely apart, replace all the broken pieces, replace the cushions and all that, and get the pieces that can be rebuilt, refurbished, or just needed sanded down or just repainted. That's what they'll do, and then they'll put it all back together again, and they'll either ship it out to a new hospital or they'll sell it to whoever's willing to pay the price for it.
That's crazy though. So I don't know what else questions to ask. So you're engaged now.
Yes.
To my sister-in-law, who also last video, guys, I interviewed her, so go check that out. But how is that going? Let's talk about that.
Pretty good.
What are you guys going, like, just to the courthouse, or you guys think you're gonna have like a full-blown wedding?
I think we want to have a nice, fair-sized wedding.
Okay.
Because
Who's the best man?
my brother, my full-blood brother.
Oh yeah. You've also been adopted too.
Yeah, adopted. I'm one of 15 kids in a family.
Oh my god, that's crazy. See, my dad's mom and dad, they had like 6 kids. I couldn't imagine having 15 in one house like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a bunch of people that live in our house right now, but we don't have anywhere close to 15.
No.
Not even. Lipton, sponsor us. We need the money. Sponsor us.
I love your green tea, Lipton.
I didn't think I liked green tea. I thought it was some nasty shit, and then he gave it to me, and then yeah. Anyway, sponsor me. I want the sponsor. Anyways, back to you. What were we talking about? I forgot.
We were talking about my family now.
Oh yeah. So what's that like? Who's your favorite? I'm just kidding.
My youngest sister.
Oh, so he does have a favorite. All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's not watching this. Or any of your family.
Hopefully not.
But what's that like to be adopted into a house with 15 kids?
Well,
What was the age that you got adopted?
I was adopted really young. I was just a little over a year old.
Okay.
But surprisingly, I remember all of it.
Really? What age did you say?
A little over a year.
But how old were you though?
exactly 14 months old.
That's crazy. Oh, I am fucking up here. No, what did I do? No. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to roll this joint.
Yeah, my favorite out of all of them is gonna be my youngest sister. My second favorite, sorry bro, but it's you. Sorry you're my second and not my first. But I mean, most of them I could live without. If I'm being straight blunt, most of them are nuts.
Yeah. Be straight blunt. That's what we want on this channel. We want straight honesty.
Half of you are what caused me to do this. If you are watching.
I don't think they are.
Hopefully not, but I'm saying half of them are what caused this. Me to smoke.
So what is your take on weed?
I think weed's okay. I mean, I think it's okay. I don't view it as a drug, unlike some of the other things like meth, heroin, crack.
Oh yeah, those are bad.
Those are bad. But weed, most people with weed, they just mellow out.
They do, and I if you don't notice that, like, in some places of the world, people actually, like, doctors will be like, well, we're gonna have to prescribe you some marijuana, and that's the crazy thing, because it is better than, like, freaking, if you have a headache, go smoke a joint. Really honest, go smoke a joint.
If you have an upset stomach, go
If you're a
smoke a
bitch,
joint.
if you're a bitch, go smoke a joint. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be used for, but if you're a bitch, go smoke a joint. You won't be a bitch anymore.
No, I think it's if you're a bitch, just like a rabbit, you just need bread.
What the fuck, bro? I was just using this roller perfectly fine.
That's the thing with I used to raise rabbits. If we had a female that was being all bitchy and wanting to attack just about everything, we just put a male and let the male do its job.
Oh my god.
And that female calms down.
Okay, I give up on this. I don't know what I did wrong, but I did it wrong.
Really? You get a female rabbit that's
Okay,
all
I don't know what I did here, but I did something. Fuck you, Rawls. Oh shit. Did I just lose that? No, it's right here. Anyways, we're just gonna pack a bowl. Fuck it. Oh yes, and that water I was using for the bong that I did not smoke.
It's just tap water, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's recyclable weed water.
You're not putting the water back in, are you?
Oh no, I did. I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
Get away from my Lipton, you fucking sweat bee. Anyway. By the way, I know we didn't smoke a lot of weed on this podcast, but I kind of smoked before this. He didn't, but
I have reasoning why, because of the drug screening.
Yes, and also another thing, there is not a rule on here if I interview somebody that they have to smoke. I was gonna make that a rule, and then I changed it. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So I don't know what else to say, man.
Let's talk more about the farm.
Oh yeah, okay.
I used to raise a shitload of rabbits. We're talking close to 400 rabbits.
Did they fuck like rabbits?
When we wanted them to, yeah.
Did you guys breed your animals too, or like?
Mm-hmm.
So what? When did you guys know that? We got to breed. Like, was it like a seasonal thing that you like? Did you guys always want to try to?
Rabbits are always able to be bred, always. So anytime we want to breed the rabbit, we'll just put a male in the cage with it and let them do their job. Then we'll bring the female inside.
So how old are rabbits usually? Like what? How long?
What's
do
the
they
youngest
live?
age, or how old do they normally live?
Yeah.
Can be anywhere from a couple years to upwards of 14 to 15 years.
Sorry. Anyways, so what about like horses and shit? How long do they usually live?
Well, one of them we still have, and it's about 14 years old now, and it's still.
So did you ever get up on the horses and ride them or anything like that?
I have.
What did you think about that? Did you ever get kicked off of one? Did you ever like one went crazy and it like kicked you off?
No, but I have been kicked while being near a horse.
You guys have any donkeys or anything?
Yes, we had miniatures. We had full grown.
When I lived in Kentucky, our next door neighbor, who lived a little bit away from us, but she lived in our neighborhood, and she had a donkey, and it was like the coolest thing in the world that I've ever seen. I've never seen farm animals like that, except for like at the fair and shit. But usually I never went to the fair either. But yeah. What's your like favorite animal that you ever had on the farm?
I had a dog that she had her back legs torn up by coyotes where the muscles were all gone, and she's my favorite.
What? Her legs were all teared up?
The legs themselves, no, but the muscles were all
So,
ruined.
but she is she still alive?
Yeah, and she's doing a lot. She's doing a lot better from when we first got her.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she had puppies recently.
What?
Yeah, a couple months ago she had pups.
That's actually really cool.
It was unexpected, but she did have pups.
So I hate to cut this short, but we are to the 20-minute mark, which means we're gonna have to end this video. But if you would like to ever come back and be in another episode any time in the near future, we can set something up and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then eventually maybe when you guys actually get married and tie the knot or whatever, we can have I can have both you guys on here or whatever. But when you do guys get married, I do want to interview you guys together, or eventually interview you guys in the same video. It doesn't even have to be when you guys get married. It could be sometime soon, and talk a little bit more about this wedding and exploit it for YouTube purposes, if you don't care. But
It's fine with me.
but yeah, guys. Thanks for being on here. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, hit the little like button. It looks a little bit like this, but a little bit more blue, but it looks like this. Go hit it. Hit the notification bell and subscribe, and you'll see the next video, hopefully. Deuces!
And Lipton, again,
Lipton.
I love your green tea.
But that's water, not tea.
It's water in it now, but I need to buy some more.
But I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces!